Making headlines. The government affirms that the Samoa Agreement signed does not conflict with Islamic values or the Constitution. The Homeland Security Minister visits Mafushi Jail to observe the ongoing operations. And the dismissal case of Governor of the MMS, Ali Hashim, is referred to the Public Accounts Committee for further review.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSN News in English with me, Mariam Shalshat. The government of the Maldives affirms that the Samoa Agreement signed does not conflict with Islamic values or the Constitution. The statement was made in response to critics who claimed that some articles in the agreement were incompatible with the country's religion and legal framework. Spokesperson of the President's Office, Hina Walid, clarified that Maldives signed the agreement after presenting declarations and reservations on 12 specific articles that could potentially conflict with Islamic values and principles and the Constitution.
The government of the Maldives affirms that the Samoa Agreement signed does not conflict with Islamic values or the Constitution. This statement was made in response to critics who claimed that some articles in the agreement were incompatible with the country's religion and legal framework. Spokesperson of the President's Office, Hina Walid, clarified the Maldives signed the agreement after presenting declarations and reservations on 12 specific articles that could potentially conflict with Islamic values and principles and the Constitution. She noted that the Maldives has a history of signing similar agreements, always including necessary reservations and declarations to safeguard religious and constitutional values. The government emphasized that it will not allow any circumstances that might conflict with the country's religious values or laws. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs highlighted that the agreement aims to strengthen bilateral cooperation between the European Union and the Maldives. Key areas of focus include climate change mitigation and sustainable economic growth. The agreement is also expected to enhance the capacity of OACP's member countries to tackle global challenges, emphasizing democracy and human rights, sustainable development, climate change, human and social development, peace and security, and migration and mobility. The Samoa Agreement brings together 79 OACP's member states and 27 EU member states, representing nearly 2 billion people with diverse socio-economic backgrounds. This coalition represents more than half of the United Nations member states.
Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Hussein visits Mafushi Jail to observe the ongoing operations. The operations were initiated following the cases in which jail officers were involved in bribery and smuggling activities. As such, while a total of 13 jail officers from the Maldives Correctional Service were arrested under the operations, 18 officers have allegedly been involved in the activities as well. Maldives Police Service disclosed that a total of $4.8 million were accumulated in the accounts of these officers since last year. While Minister Hussein visited the prison to monitor the significant joint collaboration of MPS, Corrections and Maldives National Defence Force MNDF, the minister was accompanied by the Commissioner of Police Ali Shujau, Commissioner of Prisons Hassan Zarir, and several senior officers from Corrections and MPS. The issue of smuggling phones and drugs into prisons have not been addressed up to date. However, the current administration has initiated several measures to resolve the issue. As such, metal detectors have been installed in the prisons, while efforts are underway to install a body scanner machine in the prison as well. Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development, Dr. Mariam Maria, reveals the government's intentions to formulate policies aimed at expanding access to higher education across various sectors, particularly in agriculture. Minister unveiled these plans during a training program organized for the staff of Agro National Corporation, focusing on sustainable agriculture. Addressing participants at the inauguration of the program, Minister Dr. Maria emphasized the importance of providing local citizens with advanced education in fields critical to economic development. Minister expressed confidence this initiative would lead to increased national productivity in the near future. She expressed hope the AgroNet program would train more individuals in the industry, thereby enhancing overall sector capabilities. Minister further emphasized the importance of conducting similar programs to upskill the employees within the industry. Highlighting the Maldives' heavy reliance on imported fruits and vegetables, Minister Dr. Maria stressed the imperative of enabling local agricultural products to compete effectively with imports. Minister stressed the need for agricultural workers to be proficient in technology and skilled in producing cost-effective, high-quality goods to expand the industry. She additionally underscored the crucial importance of training agricultural workers regarding the healthy amounts of chemicals utilized and alternative techniques to ensure healthy production of goods. The training program for Agro-National Corporation employees spans over 1 year. While foreign participants partake in the program, there are plans to extend technical assistance to others within the industry through trained personnel. The dismissal case of Governor of Maldives Monetary Authority MMA Ali Hashim is referred to the Public Accounts Committee for further review. The Parliamentary Committee on Public Accounts voted on July 1st to recommend President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu the removal of Ali Hashim from his position, citing failures in fulfilling the responsibilities associated with the role of MMA Governor. This recommendation follows a detailed examination by the committee, which highlighted critical functions of the central bank, including currency issuance, managing exchange rates, advising on monetary policy, and formulating financial regulations. In their presentation to Parliament, the committee emphasized the importance of fiscal and monetary policies as fundamental pillars of the national economy. They underscored that while fiscal policies guide government expenditure and tax rates, monetary policy directly impacts money circulation and interest rates through the banking system. Despite these critical roles, the committee noted severe shortcomings during Hashim's tenure, coinciding with a period of economic decline. Key points raised by the committee included allegations that MMA policies inadvertently restricted loan issuance, stalling economic activity, and highlighted inadequate regulation of the domestic market, crucial for government revenue. Additionally, the committee criticized MMA's failure to update regulations in response to national security concerns and noted lack of proactive advice to align with MMA's statutory objectives since November 17th last year. In light of these findings, the committee strongly recommended Hashim's removal, advocating for new leadership and reformed monetary policies to navigate the current economic crisis effectively. The Speaker subsequently referred the case to the Public Accounts Committee for further deliberation, as per constitutional provisions granting the President authority to act on Parliament's advice in such matters. Ali Hashim has held the position of MMA Governor since September 8, 2019, and his dismissal case now hinges on the outcome of the committee's extended review. Ministry of Islamic Affairs announces that 20 Maldivian imams are scheduled to depart to Brunei this month to undergo specialized training in Islamic studies abroad. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed shared this update through a social media post, stating that the imams will begin their training at Brunei's Sultan Sharif Ali Islamic University on the 15th of this month. The initiative is part of a national effort launched in February 2024, aimed at enhancing the expertise of scholars and imams, both within Maldives and overseas. The project, overseen by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, includes training and experience programs in various countries, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. Earlier this year, a total of 38 imams participated in similar training trips to Saudi Arabia under this project. The first group of 20 imams travelled in February, followed by an additional 18 imams in May, marking a significant progress in the ministry's efforts to bolster the educational and professional capacities of religious leaders in the Maldives. Parliamentarians support halting the regular increase in the number of parliament members every 5 years. The resolution introduced by parliamentarian for Barashu constituency Ibrahim Shujau aims to address concerns over the escalating size of the parliament with each new administration.
Shujau highlighted the public has expressed growing apprehension regarding this trend, especially in light of the increasing financial burden it places on the state. He pointed out that major democracies around the world maintain a consistent number of parliamentarians, suggesting that Maldives should adopt a similar approach. Specifically, Shuja advocated for maintaining the number of parliament members at 77, which was set when the constitution was adopted in 2008. He criticized the constitutional provisions that automatically increases the number of members based on population growth, viewing them as contribution to unnecessary expansion. Echoing these sentiments, Deputy Speaker of Parliament and parliamentarian for Diggar constituency Ahmad Nazim proposed alternatives to curb this growth. He suggested implementing the cube root formula used by some international democracies, which would currently reduce the Maldivian parliament to 73 members based on current population figures. Nazim also proposed amending the constitution to adjust the threshold for adding new members from every 5,000 to every 10,000 people, thereby limiting future expansions. Parliamentarian for Inguradu constituency and parliamentary group leader of the People's National Congress (PNC), Ibrahim Falah emphasized the importance of cost-effective governance. He criticized the Maldivian Democratic Party (MDP) for failing to address this issue during their previous supermajority in the 19th Parliament, despite promises in their Agenda 19 campaign. Parliamentarians from the MDP voiced agreement with the resolution, highlighting concerns over the strain increased numbers place on the state budget and administrative capabilities of the Parliament. The Parliament has witnessed a significant rise in membership over recent years, from 77 members in the 17th Parliament to 93 members in the current session.
Maldives initiates discussions with Huawei Technologies of China to explore opportunities for leveraging technology in promoting decentralization. The discussions were held during Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar's visit to China to participate in the Global System for Mobile Communications (GSMA). GSMA, known for its association of individuals and companies involved in mobile phone manufacturing and development, hosted Minister Adam Sharif for talks with member companies and mobile operators. Minister Adam Sharif shared details of his discussions with GSMA and Huawei via social media, highlighting their focus on enhancing telecommunications infrastructure and advancing decentralization efforts in Maldives through technological support. The minister underscored the potential for GSMA and its member companies to contribute significantly to these initiatives. During his visit, Minister Adam Sharif also attended the Mobile World Congress, the premier conference for mobile networking professionals held annually in Shanghai, China. At the MWC, he participated in a roundtable meeting chaired by GSMA's regional leader for neighboring countries. These sessions included discussions on cybersecurity challenges posed by advances in artificial intelligence, strategies to mitigate these threats, and plans for developing digital cities. GSMA boasts a membership of over 750 mobile service providers and 400 companies engaged in mobile phone manufacturing and development globally. The organization plays a pivotal role in shaping global telecommunications standards and innovations, making it a key partner for countries like Maldives seeking to enhance their digital infrastructure and capabilities. Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development opens 100 scholarship opportunities to study chartered accounting.
The deadline for interested students to apply for the Professional Accountants Training Scholarship Scheme 2024 is set as July 31st, 2024 at 13,000 hours. The 100 scholarship opportunities are distributed to a public category and an open category. The ministry revealed while 50 opportunities were opened for individuals working in state-owned enterprises, the remaining 50 opportunities are designated for individuals who are unemployed or work in private enterprises. The scope of the scholarship is Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, ACCA at skills level and professional level, and Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA at management level and strategic level. The ministry has outlined the criteria required for all interested participants. Such individuals must fit into the criteria required to enter ACCA at skills level and professional level, and the criteria to enter CIMA at management level and strategic level. Additionally, if the individual previously took a loan from the ministry or through the Department of Higher Education, they must be repaying the loan regularly without default. Furthermore, the requested course must be of a higher level than the course the individual has already completed, and the student should not be currently completing a course at the same level as the requested course at state's expenses. The ministry revealed that interested individuals can submit applications via the MyEdu portal.
A union official says that workers' union at Samsung Electronics in South Korea has called a strike for July 8th to 10th as it steps up industrial action against the country's most valuable company.
The official told Reuters that the union is determining how many workers will join the strike. Son Woo-mok, leader of the union, said late on Monday that the union wants a more transparent system for bonuses and time off and wants the company to treat it as an equal partner. Samsung declined to comment on the union's strike plan. Its share price was unaffected, rising 0.1% in morning trade versus a 0.7% decline in the benchmark price index. Union membership increased rapidly after Samsung in 2020 pledged to stop discouraging the growth of organized labor. Two analysts told Reuters that the strike itself is unlikely to have a major impact on chip output as most of the production at the world's biggest memory chip maker is automated. But senior researcher Kim Yang-paeng at the Korea Institute for Industrial Economics and Trade said that any impact will ultimately depend on how many people that operate chip plants participate and for how long. Kim added that the chip production cannot proceed with replacement workers because of the specificity and expertise of the work. Last month, workers en masse took annual leave on the same day in what was effectively the union's first industrial action. At the time, Samsung said there was no impact on production or business activity. Analysts say that those striking were mainly employed at inner-city offices rather than at manufacturing sites. A Seoul-based analyst said that this planned strike marks a turning point in Samsung's history of non-union management, cautioning that it could be seen as a drop in employee loyalty at Samsung. The analyst added that the drop in employee loyalty was caused by wages and disappointing compensations compared to Samsung's rivals.
Hurricane Beryl unleashes powerful winds over the eastern Caribbean, downing power lines and ripping roofs from buildings, as scientists argue that climate change likely added to how quickly the unusually fierce early storm formed.
Hurricane Beryl strengthened on Monday into a potentially catastrophic Category 5 storm as it moved across the eastern Caribbean, putting Jamaica near its path after downing power lines and flooding streets elsewhere. Beryl brings an unusually fierce and early start to this year's Atlantic hurricane season, with scientists saying climate change probably contributed to the rapid pace of its formation as global warming has boosted North Atlantic temperatures. The storm struck the Caribbean region earlier in the day as the earliest Category 4 storm on record, rated on the 5-point Saffir-Simpson scale. The NHE said in a statement that Beryl is now a potentially catastrophic Category 5 hurricane, adding that it was expected to bring life-threatening winds and a storm surge to Jamaica later this week. The storm could dump 4 inches to 8 inches, 10 centimeters to 20 centimeters of rain on Wednesday, rising to as much as 12 inches, 31 centimeters in some areas. Meanwhile, the Miami-based Hurricane Center said that Beryl is expected to soak the island of Hispaniola in 2 inches to 6 inches, 5 centimeters to 15 centimeters of rain as it moves west-northwest at nearly 22 miles per hour. Jamaica issued a hurricane warning on Monday, while tropical storm warnings were in effect for parts of the southern coast of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Across other islands in the East Caribbean, residents had boarded up windows, stocked up on foods and fueled up cars as the storm approached. Early on Monday, vehicles were seen driving through a flooded boardwalk in Bridgetown, Barbados. Meanwhile, officials in Mexico began to prepare for Beryl's arrival this week, with the federal government urging extreme caution on authorities and people. Mexico is now assessing damages in some of its states from heavy rain brought by former tropical storm Chris. Global warming has helped to push temperatures in the North Atlantic to all-time highs, causing more surface water to evaporate, which in turn provides additional fuel for more intense hurricanes with higher wind speeds. In May, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicted above normal hurricane activity in the Atlantic this year, also pointing to unseasonably high ocean temperatures. Scientists served by Reuters see the powerful Hurricane Beryl as a harbinger of an unusually active hurricane season made possible by record high temperatures in the Atlantic Ocean. Andrew Garner, a meteorologist based in New Jersey, said that Beryl jumped from a Category 1 to a Category 4 storm in less than 10 hours. Garner's research shows that rising water temperatures over the last 5 decades have made it more than twice as likely for weak storms to grow into major hurricanes within less than 24 hours. Scientists have already predicted that events like Beryl will grow more likely with climate change.
Portuguese fans went through an emotional roller coaster during Portugal's round of 16 match against Slovenia as Cristiano Ronaldo first failed to score on a penalty but then came through for Portugal during penalties.
Goalkeeper Diogo Costa saved all the 3 penalties as Portugal won 3-0 in a shootout against a brave Slovenia side who had held them to a 0 draw after Cristiano Ronaldo's extra-time miss from the spot in a dramatic Euro 2024 last 16 clash. Finishing the match 3-0 after penalties, Portugal advanced to the quarter-finals after what one Portugal fan considered as an unfortunate performance of Ronaldo, who shed tears after missing his penalty. Portugal had the Lions' share of the chances, but also their brilliant goalkeeper to thank for a one-on-one save from Slovenia striker Benjamin Sesko as they stumbled into a quarter-final meeting with France in Hamburg on Friday. Ronaldo in particular will come under the spotlight as he wasted several opportunities to go with a penalty miss in extra time that left him in a flood of tears and needing to be consoled by teammates. Portugal were awarded the penalty late in the first half of extra time when Diogo Jota's storming run into the box was illegally stopped by a defender who had already been booked and was lucky not to receive a second yellow card. They also have a reliable penalty taker in their team in Bruno Fernandes, but Captain Ronaldo elected to take it and his effort was superbly saved to his left by Slovenia's Jan Oblak, who pushed the ball onto the post. Ronaldo, aiming to become the oldest scorer in Euros history at 39, had looked out of sorts of all through the match, missing several headed chances. He also insisted on taking all 4 free kicks Portugal were awarded in a shooting range, with none of them particularly threatening Oblak. Slovenia defended superbly, and every time they had a scrap of possession, they sent the ball long to forwards Andres Sporar and Sesko to try and make something of it. It was a play that worked well, and Sesko had 2 one-on-one opportunities in the game, both from Pepe mistakes. Slovenia will go home having played out 4 draws in Germany, but having qualified for the knockout rounds of a major tournament for the first time in their history. Meanwhile, Portugal will face off against France on Friday, June 5th, bringing back memories of 2016's Euro final match.
China's UN envoy states that the US targeting of certain investments in artificial intelligence in China is not helpful to the healthy development of AI technology and will be divisive when it comes to global governance.
The United States last month issued draft rules for banning or requiring notification of certain investments in artificial intelligence and other technology sectors in China that could threaten US national security. Chinese UN Ambassador Fu Chong told reporters after the 193-member UN General Assembly that they are firmly opposed to these sanctions. The General Assembly was adopted by consensus, a Chinese drafted resolution aimed at boosting international cooperation on AI capacity building.
Well, that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news updates. Have a good day. Goodbye.